Yo, what is good? My anniversary, what is good, yo? So a new challenger has arrived. Transfer student, the Red Panda. um, I honestly don't know what to tell you guys when it comes to this show, man. Just take it or leave it, and that's about all I can say. This show is truly putting every single type of character in this, all of their different weird quirkiness, and I think it works out relatively fine. Like I don't see any like honest problem with it, just because everything that's going into making this show feel like it's not just um, as all of the others, I should say, and pushing for just any little tidbits that they can, right? Like by adding this panda and, knowing how pandas are treated so great, this panda straight up is a celebrity, is a straight up star. Just sparkling in the light. There's no way anybody can be mean to this panda. And for some weird reason, of course, the meanest person of them all gets to test and keep himself true to hating all animals. As we can see at the end of the show, he's still reading a book called like Failure Animals or something like that. So he's truly putting in the research to know just how fail some of these aspects of animals are, so he can always kind of not only be mad at them, but be mad at them for something that they naturally are used to and stuff like that. So it's pretty hilarious to me that he goes through all of this studying to learn, their the things that they get, how they get treated, how they're supposed to be living. He knows so much about them, but it's all knowledge to be able to beat them up, to be able to get the advantage on them and stuff like that. So it's hilarious to me. But as a whole, we know that this panda girl is at least somewhat gonna maybe change at heart, right? Like maybe she'll have a change of heart sooner or later because as we saw this week, she completely turned it around. She's never made food. I'm telling you right now, she has never made food in her whole entire life until today or until this week's episode happened, and she's just learning to be better. She's just learning to actually have some decency. She's sitting there barking orders to people she doesn't even know because usually it would just work, right? Like, oh, yes, of course, Panda. We will do anything for you. And that also was followed up. Our main guy talking all that trash to her was followed up perfectly by the cat being a cat and hating when new people come in, so they usually do whatever they can to avoid them, right? Like they're just like, ugh, they don't smell anything like this house. They don't smell like the people I am used to. They also want to like pet me and hug, pick me up. Nah, I'm good. You know, that's like the first thing I noticed, or the first thing that ran through my mind when the cat girl was hiding under the table as soon as someone new had walked in, which of course we never seen that before until today for some reason, even though the donkey people were in there and she didn't freak out on them, but she was outside, so that just goes to show you that there was a bit of I don't care to be in there right now because of those people maybe. So I truly think it's fun to learn about random animals that just come into the show. Even if this panda kinda has a thing for being told what to do and being yelled at, which is kinda weird, but not really because like I said, all of these troves come from many, many shows that I've seen over the time, so it's more or less just a homage to those shows, in my opinion. Like, usually anybody who's making like a character act like you can see them, and if this character existed In this show, it would just be this person, right? Or something along those lines. So to see that and for it to be so like obvious is the point for most shows to continue to do it. It's because they're inspired or, and like those characters. They think that those characters are, funny when they were made and they just want to show people time and time again throughout the future. Because once you stop doing something that you've seen as a kid and the next people behind you stop doing it, it starts to disappear. And for other people, it starts to become new once they see it for the first time. But just like how we've seen a lot of the fighting shows and how they do stuff, a lot of people have already seen these characters and how they're going to act, and they know that just by her having some type of, enjoyment of being yelled at or something, they're like, okay, so she's like this girl, and I bet something else is, someone else is going to yell at her, and she's going to love it. Stuff like that is what people kind of naturally hate about being able to call the future, but it comes with the character's trove and what she, and every other character bring to the table is why it's like that. So overall, everybody, I hope you have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case it is when you are watching this. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I think I just found the guy who hates animals. How could he pull out a sword on a loving panda? Now I'm gonna hug you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Panda power. Later, everybody.